All right, guys, I got the new Hot Toys Terminator. So let's take a look. But first, we can look at some of the box art. We got, T2. This is a picture of the figure, it looks like. It's got this giant ugly sticker because it has button cell batteries, which I might take that off, we'll see. But then, yeah, it just says, all this stuff on here, DX46, and then you got all this, and you got a bigger warning there because of the batteries. So, yeah, that's why you just gotta use USB. Come on, Hot Toys. And then you basically take this out, and then you reveal this art on the front, and then you take that out, and then you've got the figure in the box, which looks really good. Then you can take off this piece, and it's got the foam packaging, which I really like. I wish every figure was like that, but yeah, and then there's all the accessories. All right, here's the figure standing straight up and down, and he looks incredible. So I already got the bandolier on him. But before we get into the details, let's take a look at everything that he comes with. All right, so here is basically everything it comes with, but we're going to first start off with this display base. It has a really cool, diorama feel to it, and it's not too large. It's basically the quarter scale base with, a bunch of modifications to it. You got a cool, lava-looking stuff in there, and then you got these two side thingies, and then this lever, which you can move around. You got this back piece with the chains and stuff, and yeah, and it can also light up with USB, which we will show later. Then you got a nameplate right there, so it's pretty nice. All right, then he's got a bunch of sets of hands. You have right and left trigger finger hand. They're slightly different, but they've got a whole bunch of battle damage detail in there. You also got two relaxed hands that come on them in the package, and you've got a right and left fisted hand. And then you have this right hand, which is supposed to hold the steel rod thingy, and then you have a right thumbs up hand, which is pretty great. And going over his weapons, you have this rifle here, which you can take out the mag like that, and you can see the bolt in there, which is pretty cool. And then you put that back in, and then you can extend this stock as well. It's got a little fabric strap. It's pretty cool. None of these are die cast, but it's pretty cool still. Then you've got his grenade launcher, which I think this might be a new accessory. You have a rotating thingy right there. So yeah, this is a pretty cool thing as well. Then you've got his pistol. You can pull back this piece to reveal the bullet in the chamber. And then you can take out the clip and see the bullet as well. And finally, for the guns, you have his shotgun, which is supposed to look like wood, but it kind of looks a bit plasticky, but it's not too bad. You can turn this little piece, which unlocks it, then you can move this down, which then allows you to put in one of the shells from his bandolier, which comes separately, but they're all removable, so you can take one out, and then you can just go ahead and plop that in there and close it up, and then you gotta lock it with this piece. So it's pretty cool. It's got a green fabric strap as well. And the final weapon is this metal rod, but it's plastic, so I mean that's okay. Probably won't really use this, but you still got it in the box. And then you have a swap out arm, which is half of it's gone, as you can see, and you have a bunch of detail in there. It's kind of softish plastic, so shouldn't break or anything, but yeah, a whole bunch of detail in there and skin texture, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. That means you also get a swap out leather jacket, which has one of the arms missing. So yeah, I think it might have a little bit more battle damage than the other one, maybe. I'll have to compare them, but yeah, main thing is it has this arm sleeve ripped off. But here's basically the less battle damage head sculpt, which I think is a pretty dang good likeness. So yeah, then you got all the detail in there with the endoskeleton poking through, which is great. And it's got movable eyes, of course. And with that, they give you a tool, although you can't just use your fingers. And it also has, for some reason, an extra neck peg, which it doesn't have the light up. So I don't know if this one can't go on the other one or what. But yeah, they give you an extra one for whatever reason. So yeah, that's it for accessories. Now we can take a look at the figure. All right, and here is that battle damage head sculpt, which looks glorious. I think it's a very good sculpt there. So yeah, then you got his bandolier, which is fabric, kind of stretchy. All these things in here which are removable, but you can also go in there and see all that detail with all that gore and endoskeleton underneath, which looks fantastic. But yeah, so he's got a real leather outfit, which is incredible. It looks so good. So glad it's real leather. I think it was in the original as well, but knowing Hot Toys, they do weird things sometimes. So yeah, this looks really good. And the only weird thing with this part is his neck looks kind of lumpy compared to his face. I don't know why they put so much texture in there, but you can't, it's not too bad when you just look at it from the front. You can't really tell. So yeah, you got all these bullet holes all in the jacket and stuff, and then you have these little things that are kind of glued on to the zipper stuff that's glued on all over the jacket, which is cool, except it's pretty fragile because when I was putting on the jacket after taking off the plastic of the arms, I ripped one off. So Gonna have to glue that back. Good thing I found it because it fell on the carpet. But yeah, I'll just glue that back on. That's kind of annoying that they're that fragile. So the belt is leather as well. You got a belt buckle in there. And then you also have leather pants, which is so good. I don't think I have a figure with genuine leather until now, so this is really cool. I do have that Artisan Winter Soldier coming though, which will also have it. But yeah, this is great. And the detail right here is insane. Like, that's just pretty disgusting. Just look at that. I don't really love what they did with the boots. They put a full boot and it goes up to here, so you literally get like basically nothing in terms of movement. So that's kind of sucks. I don't know why they did that. They could have just had it be a split cut at least and, you know, have it move right there because you wouldn't be able to see it at all. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. Guess we can take a look at the back. Just full leather outfit there. Some pockets. And yeah, you also got some zippers down here. They're not real zippers though. And yeah, so pretty great. All right, so we're gonna go over articulation real quick, and then we'll take his jacket off and you know, put on some of the swap out pieces. So basically, for the head, you've got the neck is like kind of like a rubbery plastic, but it doesn't seem to move. You just have a joint up there, which looks up about that far, which is pretty good. And you get down, although it kind of comes off of the peg there. It's not really a peg. It kind of just like suctions onto there. So yeah, if you just go too much, you can kind of just pull it off. But you know, he gets a good amount of down, and you know, obviously side to side and tilt, which is pretty great as well. So and then for the arms, get about 90 right there. Bend the silicone arms, which is a kind of an annoying thing that we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, so you get good range on them though. And you can also twist right there at the bicep. And then down here, you basically have the regular Hot Toys joint where you can do whatever you want. For the torso, it's kind of restricted because you can get some. It's not amazing, but you do get some articulation in there. And you can also reveal more detail, which is pretty crazy. It doesn't really get much back. And you get some twist as well, no, there's not really much tilt going this way. You can kick forward with some ratchets to about there. Then you also have a swivel up there, and you can go out about there. Not the greatest, but it's all right. Double jointed knee here, kicks up past 90. For the other side, only a single joint, so you don't get as much on this leg. As I said, for the feet, you basically get nothing. I mean, you can kind of move it a little, but don't really get much of anything at all. Now let's kind of move on to some swap out pieces and the accessories and stuff and see what we can do with this guy. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is check out this light up feature in the head, which it is button cell batteries, which is pretty terrible. Would be good if it was USB, but yeah, you basically put these batteries in. There's also a cover for it, but I just didn't put it on. Flip the switch in there, and then it lights up. Then you can put the head on there, and it goes right onto the eye, and it looks great. The only issue is it's going to die very fast, so you won't be able to leave it on, but it's still pretty cool. Here it is with the lights off. It's super bright on camera. Could have done something with USB with their new like Iron Spider and Iron Man stuff, which has like full USB, so not sure what happened there. Now we are going to take off the jacket and see the silicone arms, and we're going to try on the swap out arm and stuff. So let's do that. All right, so we got the jacket off. It's not too hard. A lot of people complain about it being hard to take it off with the silicone arms, but I feel like it's not too bad. But yeah, so you got silicone arms on this thing, which was not in the original like pre-order information, I don't think. So I was surprised when it had that. So yeah, I mean, they're all squishy and stuff, and it's basically because there's a bunch of holes in the jacket. It's so that you wouldn't see a joint underneath, which I don't even know if you would if they were jointed, but maybe you could. So yeah, that's why they did that, which I do like that. Although now you could potentially have the problem of it could like rip and crack and stuff if left in poses, which I don't know if that's the case or not, because who knows, maybe they're using super durable stuff. But yeah, we don't really know how durable this new silicone stuff is. I have a couple other figures with it at this point, so hopefully it's durable. I mean, if it did break underneath the jacket, you wouldn't really be able to tell, I don't think. But that still would be like, that's not great. You don't want it to be broken underneath the jacket. So he looks a little bit weirdly proportioned without the jacket, and that's because it's supposed to have the jacket, so it looks a little weird without it. But yeah, I don't think anyone's really going to be displaying him like this. The shirt is a shirt. Let's go ahead and put on the other battle damaged arm and the other jacket. All right, so I ripped the arm out. So now there's just an arm here. don't know what I'm gonna do with. But yeah, so it bends, and it's super realistic and squishy. So yeah, it's also like metal under there. One of the pegs came out. On the other hand, you can see it's metal in there, which is pretty cool. Oh, I also forgot to mention the jacket could potentially stain the silicone, which is another issue. You probably wouldn't see it again, but it's also annoying that that could happen. So I'm not sure if it would or not. I don't really know about how all these materials work together, but that's a potentially bad aspect to the silicone. All right, so now we got the damaged arm in there, and it's pretty great. So let's put on the other jacket. All right, so we got the jacket on, but either I'm not careful or Hot Toys glue is terrible, because the zipper in the exact same place came off again right here when I was pulling the arm up. I guess I just kind of grabbed it and wasn't paying attention. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I can just glue it back. Hopefully it stays, but that's kind of annoying that it happened twice. Yeah, I'll have to fix 2 jackets now. All right, here he is with the battle damaged arm and the other head sculpt. And I think this one's pretty great too. I like the battle damaged one more, so I'm gonna use that one. But this one is pretty cool. It's great that it comes with 2 head sculpts. And yeah, so you got all that damage in there, and there, and in there. So yeah, you also got like bullet holes in the neck and stuff, and all throughout the jacket. Pretty fantastic figure. So now let's basically do some poses and stuff. All right, I don't have any other Terminator figures to compare him to, so here he is next to Kenobi Vader for no reason. But yeah, so he's got a pleather suit, and he's got a leather suit, and I mean, they feel, I guess there's not much of a difference in feeling, but they definitely smell different. I hate how harsh my lighting looks on camera, because it doesn't look like that in person, so it's really annoying. And here he is next to the Joker, because I don't know who to compare him to, so just some other DX figures, I guess, to put him next to, but yeah. Both really good figures. All right, here he is with the light up base and with the light up eye on. And this is super awesome. I wish I could have the eye light and the base light on in my display, but the batteries will die, and this, I don't know how I would get a cord thin enough to fit into the case, but I mean, man, it's pretty great. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. This figure's great. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button, and I will probably have a review of this case out soon, and the new, like some other 12 scale stuff, like Emma Frost and Deathstroke and Deadpool. So we'll do some videos on that. So see you guys later. I'll be back.